All right, now in this video, we're going to be doing a 12-month taste testing my batch of black currant wine that I started, and we're going to find out if it's any good. But before we get to that, I want to give a special shout out to a new member, a Bougra Dujol, hope I pronounced that correctly. Thank you for helping support this channel, it's greatly appreciated. Now then, I'm Charles and this is DIY Fermentation, your site for doing fermentation on a shoestring budget. Okay, I'm going to try and make this one a real short video by virtue of the fact that we're still currently in the process of a move, okay? Not from just one house to another, but from one house in my place to another. So I haven't had time to do a lot of videos, and quite frankly, with respect to this bottle of wine, didn't have time to produce a fancy label, and capping and corking and all of that. I just didn't have time for it. So I'm going to try and squeeze this video in as quickly as possible. We're going to find out if this is worth drinking. I can say the following. The ABV on this one came in at 15.49%. It was back sweetened. I was intending on shooting it the day of back sweetening, the other remaining bottles, but which is why I didn't bother to cork it and cap and all of that. But just got pressed during the move. But this will still suffice. Let's go ahead and crack this one open. Still a little bit of suction left. And let's pour us a glass. Before pouring a glass, it never went clear. I mean, it's still hazy, plain and simple. Okay. Oh, this also was pasteurized, by the way. That having been said, what have we here? Yeah, yeah, it's cloudy. There's no sediment that's settled down to the bottom of the bottle, so what you got is what you're going to get. I don't think it's going to get any clearer without using some form of artificial clarifier to make it get any clearer than what it is. But that having been said, what have we here? Two things. You can smell raisins. It smells like raisins. And on the back end, I wouldn't say the back end, kind of like 50% raisins and yeah, you can smell 50% alcohol. So it's gonna have a little bit of a kick to it. I know it's been back sweetened to my taste, which if anyone has wondered, in my videos, why I let them go dry, as opposed to trying to predetermine, well, you need to stop fermenting at this stage and you need to, stabilize at this stage. I just let everything go dry because it's simpler for everybody to try and understand. And besides, back sweetening it or sweetening it to my taste might not be the same as sweetening it to your taste. You might prefer a dry wine. I prefer something that's a bit on the sweeter side. But having said all that, let's see what we got. Just a quick video. Well, it's not dry. It's semi-dry. I could probably use a little bit more sugar now that I think about it. It's not like taking a handful of raisins and munching and chowing down on them. It's a bit more subtle than that. Yep. Actually, it's a bit drier on the back end than it was going in at the beginning. Had I known that when I was back sweetening, I would have added a little bit more sugar. I think it works as a drier wine. I don't know if it will work as a completely dry wine, but probably making it a slightly sweeter wine. But again, you are getting those raisin notes. This might be interesting as a mead. I think the honey, characteristics of the honey might mellow this out a bit. It's not harsh. Trying to decide whether or not I would make any adjustments to the recipe, and I think I'm beginning to see one possible adjustment. Yeah, I would probably adjust the acidity downward just a bit. I have to take a look at the original recipe, but if I do go back, and probably I will go back, and I will make an adjustment to the original recipe in the original video. Well, let me rephrase that. The ingredients that are listed in the description section of the original video, I probably will reduce the amount of lemon juice that was used, probably by half. I think by that time I was down to half a lemon. These days I'm down to a quarter of a lemon, which kind of gives it more of a sweet spot for most of the wines, depending on the fruit that was used. But yeah, I would adjust the acidity down just a hair. Yep, a little bit more sweetness, my personal taste. A little less acidity, I think, for the general purposes of adjusting the wine. And also, one last thing on making adjustments to my recipes. Anytime I do any of the 12-month taste testings and I do decide to make an adjustment, in the original description section of the original video, you'll see where I've made the adjustment, because in this case, it'll say half a lemon, juice of a half a lemon. That would be changed to, say, a quarter of a lemon. And then you'll see the word modified and then a date that I made the modification. Again, winemaking is a hobby. It's an experiment. You make a slight adjustments as you go along until you hit that final sweet spot where, okay, instead of making a gallon of wine, trying to figure out which one is going to taste best, I've now hit the recipe that I like, and go ahead and increase the amount of that you're making from 1 gallon to 5 gallons on up. Okay, there we go. Again, very short video. If you like what you see here, please click on the subscribe and notify buttons. Becoming a member helps. Become a Patreon also helps. Again, there's merchandise and all of that you can find below. So again, I'll see you in the next video. Till then, see you.